Crimson Pines Hotel, a name whispered with fear and trepidation. Once a beacon of opulence and grandeur, it now stands as a shadow of its former self. The stories that surround this place are as thick as the fog that often envelops it. Locals spoke of a darkness that clung to the once grand hotel, nestled deep within the emerald embrace of Redwood National Park. The forest, with its towering trees and dense underbrush, seemed to guard the secrets of the Crimson Pines. It was as if the very woods themselves were complicit in the mysteries that shrouded the hotel. The once vibrant laughter of guests replaced by chilling silence. They said it was cursed. The grand lobby, which once echoed with the sounds of joyous conversations and the clinking of glasses, now stood eerily silent. The hallways, once bustling with activity, were now empty, save for the occasional creak of the old wooden floors, haunted by those who never left. The grand ballroom, now decayed and cobweb-draped, hosted only ghostly waltzes. The chandeliers, which once sparkled with 1,000 lights, now hung dark and lifeless. The air was thick with the weight of memories, and one could almost hear the faint strains of a long-forgotten melody. Each chipped, peeling wall held stories of joy and sorrow, now faded like whispers on the wind. The rooms, once filled with the warmth of human presence, now stood cold and empty. The wallpaper, peeling and discolored, seemed to tell tales of happier times now long gone. The Crimson Pines, once a sanctuary of luxury, stood as a decaying monument to forgotten dreams. Its once grand facade, now crumbling and overgrown with ivy, was a stark reminder of the passage of time. The windows, many of them broken or boarded up, seemed to stare out like empty eyes, watching the world move on without them. The hotel, with all its secrets and stories, remained a haunting presence, a testament to the impermanence of even the grandest of dreams. Drawn by the thrill of the unknown, four friends, Emma, the pragmatist, Jason, the skeptic, Lily, the adventurous one, and Marcus, the timid one, embarked on a weekend trip. The legend of Crimson Pines, a chilling campfire story, became their obsession. Their destination, the heart of the unknown. Armed with flashlights and a thirst for adventure, they arrived at the foot of the winding driveway. The ominous silhouette of the hotel against the setting sun did little to quell the unease creeping up their spines. Ignorance, their shield; curiosity, their sword. The air inside was heavy, thick with the perfume of decay and the weight of unseen eyes. Dust-laden furniture stood like ghostly sentinels in the lobby. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the echo of their own footsteps. Every creak of the floorboards sent shivers down their spines. That night, sleep evaded them. Whispers seemed to emanate from the walls, weaving tales of tragedy and despair. Shadows danced at the edge of their vision. Fear and unwelcome guests settled in, casting a pall over their adventurous spirits. Days turned into a blur of unsettling events. The once lively hotel now felt like a labyrinth of shadows and whispers. Every corner seemed to hold a secret, every creak of the floorboards a hidden message. The staff and guests alike began to feel the weight of an unseen presence, a chilling reminder that they were not alone. A music box playing a haunting melody on its own, its eerie tune filling the air with a sense of foreboding. The music seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once, echoing through the empty halls and seeping into the very walls of the hotel. It was as if the melody was a call, a beckoning from the past that refused to be silenced. The ghostly laughter of children echoing down the halls, their disembodied giggles sending shivers down the spines of those who heard them. It was a sound that should have been joyful, but in the context of the haunted hotel, it was anything but. The laughter seemed to come from the very walls, a reminder of a time long gone yet still very much present, and the unnerving feeling of being watched, eyes that seemed to follow you, even when you were alone. Shadows that moved just out of sight, always lurking, always waiting. It was a sensation that grew stronger with each passing day, gnawing at the edges of sanity. Each experience chipped away at their skepticism, the once rational minds now clouded with doubt and fear. The guests and staff began to share their stories, each more terrifying than the last. The hotel, once a place of comfort and luxury, had become a prison of fear and uncertainty, replacing it with creeping dread. The atmosphere grew heavier, the air thick with tension. Every shadow seemed to hold a threat, every sound a warning. The hotel had become a living nightmare, a place where the line between reality and the supernatural blurred. Then, one moonless night, Lily saw her, a spectral figure in a white gown gliding through the shadows. Her blood ran cold. The ghostly figure turned, her sorrowful eyes locking onto Lily's, a silent plea etched on her pale face. Lily stumbled back, her heart pounding in her chest. The figure seemed to float, her movements graceful, yet haunting. It was as if she was caught between two worlds, unable to move on, unable to rest. Her sorrowful eyes locking onto Lily's, a connection that transcended time and space. It was a look of longing, of desperation, as if she was trying to communicate something important, something that had been lost to the ages. Lily felt a chill run down her spine, the weight of the ghost's sorrow pressing down on her, a silent plea etched on her pale face. Lily stumbled back, her mind racing with questions. Who was this woman? What did she want? The fear was overwhelming, but so was the curiosity. Lily knew she had to find out more, to uncover the truth behind the haunting. Her scream echoing through the silent halls, a sound that seemed to reverberate through time itself. It was a scream of fear, of realization, of a connection to something far greater than herself. The hotel, once a place of refuge, had become a gateway to the unknown, and Lily was now a part of its story. Tangled in its web. Section 6. The Disappearance. Desperate to escape the clutches of Crimson Pines, they decided to leave. But their car wouldn't start. It was as if the hotel itself was holding them captive, refusing to release them from its grasp. As darkness fell, the ghostly apparitions grew bolder. The temperature plummeted, and the air crackled with an unseen energy. One by one they vanished, swallowed by the shadows, their screams silenced by the ancient walls. The Crimson Pines had claimed them, adding their names to the growing list of souls lost within. Eerie sense of urgency to the scene. Who had left in such a hurry, and why? A chill ran down his spine as he approached the entrance, a sense of foreboding settling over him. The hotel's windows were dark, and the building seemed to loom over him, casting long shadows in the moonlight. He hesitated for a moment. Shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The door creaked open slightly as if inviting him in, and he took a deep breath, steeling himself for whatever lay ahead. He knew that turning back was no longer an option. Nightmare was blurred. Section 8. The cycle continues. Unbeknownst to him, he was walking into a nightmare. The Crimson Pines, hungry for new souls, awaited its next victims. The cycle of horror would continue, fueled by the darkness that permeated every inch of the decaying edifice. The hiker's footsteps echoed through the empty halls, each step drawing him deeper into the heart of the mystery. He was oblivious to the unseen eyes watching his every move, the malevolent forces lurking just beyond his perception. Section 9, Crimson Pines awaits. The Crimson Pines Hotel stood tall, a monolith of despair and terror, its secrets buried deep within its walls. The forest held its breath, a silent witness to the horrors that unfolded within, and the whispers on the wind seemed to say one thing: beware the shadows of Crimson Pines. The Crimson Pines Hotel awaited its next victims, its doors forever open to those brave or foolish enough to enter. And the cycle of horror would continue, spinning an endless web of fear and despair.